Hey guys, I just wanted to say thank you for using my creator code whenever you purchase any Sims 4 DLC on the EA app or thesims.com. I receive a 5% commission each time you use my code, which means you're directly supporting me as a creator. I know there are a lot of codes floating around out there, so I am very grateful that you've chosen me to support in this way. Thank you so much. Hey guys, it is MissSimReno. If you are returning to the channel, welcome back. And if you're brand new, I am very excited that you decided to join me here today for another speed build. And if I'm talking quietly, it is because my baby is asleep, and so is the rest of my household, because I'm doing this voiceover pretty early in the morning, because you gotta seize the opportunities you get, right? So if I sound a little bit different, I'm so sorry if you hear my cat meowing in the background. If you end up hearing a baby, this is life, all right? This is life as a new mom and a YouTuber. So anyway, we're actually building a Hobbit hole today, and I'm really excited about this. You can see we started in Henford on Bagley, but we end up moving to Innisgreen and wrapping it up with all of the new Enchanted by Nature stuff, it's so fun. I love this build so much. But what I do have to do is I have to tip my hat to two creators. So I think it was maybe a year ago, I don't even remember at this point, but Jessica Pye, who I'm sure you all know and love because her builds are absolutely incredible, she made a Hobbit hole, and what she did is she made it like a quote-unquote two-story build, and she just lowered it into the ground. Quite literally genius, because I built a Hobbit hole maybe years ago at this point. I actually don't even remember how long ago it was, but I think it was years ago, and I did what a lot of other creators are doing right now with the new Enchanted by Nature pack, where you create a pretty small room, and then you use roof pieces like I'm doing here to make it look like it's built into the ground. But I haven't seen a lot of people like sinking it into the ground until I saw Create for Sims, another creator, who did just that. Like, she also sunk it into the ground to make it a lot more spacious, I would say, and really, of course, make it look like it was built into the world, like into the land surrounding it. So I thought it was such a cool idea, and I really wanted to make a bigger Hobbit hole because the last one I did make was very small, and it was really, really hard to actually make it like a full house. And this one, I'm actually shocked. So this house, I think I only made it a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, but there's an office space, and then there's also another room that has like a bunch of stored ale and beer and stuff in it. So it's literally a storage room that serves no purpose with actual gameplay, but it's decorative. So you could turn those two spaces into additional bedrooms if you wanted to. So it could end up being, what is that then, a 4-bed, 1-bath house? And it's only 1 bathroom because there was really no good place, in my opinion, for me to put a bathroom on the first floor. And when I say the first floor, I mean the floor that your Sims enter the build from. The ground level floor, that's what I'm saying. And then like the quote unquote basement floor, which isn't actually a real basement, is where like all the bedrooms and stuff are. It's a little bit wonky, but I kind of had to do it because it's kind of a different build, you know? And when we started doing this, I was using a lot of cottage living items because I knew that once the Enchanted by Nature expansion pack came out, I would be replacing a ton of things. Oh, I also have to tip my hat to Jessica Pye for this little trick or a little decorative thing, because she used like these little hunks of wood to kind of create more of the spherical or circular, we'll go with circular, frames to windows that were not circular. So when she did her build, it was obviously prior to this expansion, and we didn't have the beautiful wooded rounded windows that we have now. I originally, when I was kind of prepping this, used cottage living windows, which are of course also not round. So I did use those hunks of wood to kind of encircle all of them. And it looked really, really nice. And I did actually keep it as a decorative item when I changed out the objects to the Enchanted by Nature windows. And pretty soon we're actually going to be moving to Innisgreen. I was just kind of testing out the landscaping here because I had no idea what I wanted it to look like. Really, I had an idea. Like, of course, I wanted to do plants like all up on the roof and everything to make it look like it really was built into a hill or something. But I didn't use a ton of terrain manipulation. It's really just to make these little, I don't even know what to call them, these little like pits surrounding the bottom floor that has windows, just so of course there's actual light that's coming into the build. And I put like landscaping down there and stuff like that too. And also in the midst of this, so now that we're in Innisgreen, as I was doing this, Tool actually hadn't been updated at the time. And if you haven't realized, I'm on maternity leave. I haven't even mentioned that. I'm on maternity leave, but obviously I did this build and it's a lot more current, so this is not a pre-recorded build. I'm trying to do that. Like, I was really excited about this expansion coming out, and if I have builds that I complete, I'm going to try to get them out to you all in a timely manner, but I have tons of pre-recorded builds that have been going up on the channel, including the 100 baby challenge, which I'm tackling, because if I had to go through childbirth, so do my Sims. But all of those videos are pre-recorded. This one is not. This one is very current. But yes, we have moved to Innisgreen, and Tool hadn't been updated at the time, so I was trying to just replace the windows and doing what I could, but I knew I was really going to want Tool to finish the landscaping for this build. And I also put a ton of plants on the roof, and yes, we do have the new ability to put plants on roofs. They can actually slot. However, these roof pieces, since I used so many, and I think because they were small and kind of like odd shapes, those slots really did not work, and I was actually kind of bummed about that. I don't think it's necessarily a part of the feature that's like not working. Like, I think the feature is working fine, but I think they need to maybe fine tune it a bit. Like, right there, you see me struggling. Like, I was trying desperately, even with move objects on, to put plants on the roof, and I couldn't do it. So I had to use, what is it, Alt 9, Control 9, whatever it is. Honestly, it's just muscle memory for me at this point, so I don't even look at the keyboard. But I think it's Alt 9, and I use that to raise every single plant painstakingly onto the roof. It was genuinely a pain in the butt. So I kind of took a breather from it because I knew I was going to have to do that. I figured, let's see what we're going to do with this little side yard, because I didn't know what I was going to do with it at all. I had no freaking idea. So I think I just put I put a fairy house out here just in case, because of course this pack gave us fairies. So, and we don't have hobbits in the game, as you're all well aware. So I figured I would put a little fairy house here. There's a gardening box. I was going to do a chicken coop, but honestly it's huge and I didn't really have the space. I wanted to enclose that if I was going to have it, so I didn't do that, even though it'd probably be very fitting for hobbits. And I think I put, what else do I put out here? I think there's like a clothesline out here as well, because I figured that was kind of fitting too. But on the topic of hobbits as well, I don't know if you all know this. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. Probably have. I love The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I absolutely adore them. I love the films. I did read The Hobbit when I was about 10 years old, and I've never read the Lord of the Rings trilogy itself, which is embarrassing for me to admit because I'm such a big fan. When I say fan though, you can't like quiz me on anything, like trivia or anything like that, because I haven't read the books and I'm not like super enthralled with it. But I love it. I love watching the extended versions specifically. It's extended versions or bust, okay? That's, in my opinion, if you're going to watch The Lord of the Rings, you need to just watch the extended versions. I know they don't seem as cohesive. Some things seem random, some things drag on, but that's the beauty of the extended versions. I love them so much. But yeah, that's why I wanted to build a Hobbit hole as well, because I wanted to make one that felt really, really cozy and really, really authentic to what hobbits enjoy in life, if you will, which I did last time as well, but I thought that we had a lot more objects in game now to really bring that to life. So, you know, hobbits, they like a very laid back, slow lifestyle. They enjoy the finer things in life, if you will. You know, they enjoy good food. They have many meals a day. They enjoy a good ale or something like that, right? And I think that they would enjoy hobbies like cross-stitching and embroidery and things, you know, slow progress when it comes to those hobbies and creating things. And I feel like that doesn't even faze hobbits. They love that. It's easy. They can sit by the fire, enjoy a nice like cup of tea or something like that, and some kind of like second or third meal of the day and just working on their little projects. And I thought that was really, really fitting. So I was really excited about this build. I'm really stoked about it. I worked on it for a while, as you know, at this point, because I was working on it before the expansion and I finished it with the new expansion. And I was so excited to share it because I thought it came out really, really nice. And I'm genuinely impressed with the fact that it's so big. I'm not even gonna say like impressed with myself because I didn't intend on making it huge, but it's like a really big build and it has a lot of flexibility for you all to kind of change things up, like I mentioned, with the number of bedrooms and stuff. But I did do the floor plan off camera, so I'm so sorry, but I did because there were a lot of diagonal rooms and your girl doesn't work with diagonal rooms ever. Pretty much ever. And I wanted to make sure that I had a reasonable floor plan given a lot of those awkward rooms and stuff like that. So it took me a long time off camera to figure that out. So forgive me, I didn't film it, but yeah, I like the floor plan. So this is the ground floor. I'm putting that in little like air quotes. And this is the kitchen, the dining room. I loved it. I thought it was going to be a great place to start because I knew I wanted to use these chairs from Outdoor Retreat. They do not get enough love. I freaking love these chairs and I don't use them enough, but it's perfect for a build like this, like a rustic build. Ideal, like absolutely perfect. And the new countertops and everything. I have to, okay, right. I'm stumbling over my words. I'm stumbling over my words because I, one, haven't had coffee yet. The sun has barely risen as I'm doing this voiceover. I have not had coffee yet. And I'm just like really, really amped about this build and I'm trying to squeeze in this voiceover. Anyway, so this pack, I think in my last build with this pack, I didn't remember what I kind of said. I thought maybe I was saying that, you know, the build and buy objects are fairly niche. But the more I'm building with them, I would say that a lot of like the darker wood tones or even the wood tones that aren't pastel colored, okay? A lot of the wood tones for like the archways or some of the furniture items, not all of them, I'm kind of changing my tune. I think that they are fairly versatile in the sense that you don't have to just build something for fairies and something whimsical. You can use those items in a lot of like rustic builds too. So I think that kind of opens the door a bit to more. But yeah, I think the items are beautiful and I do appreciate the variety of items that we got in regards to like things for the kitchen and things for the bathroom. Like we actually did get a full bathroom set. I should correct myself because in my last build I was like, yeah, we didn't get a toilet, we didn't get a sink. It's like, April, they're right there. We absolutely got a sink. We absolutely got a toilet. And we also, I think I said that we got a bed for each life stage and we did not, unfortunately. So that's kind of a bummer. We didn't get a single bed. I wish we had gotten a single bed because we got a bassinet, a crib, a toddler bed, and a double bed, which is great. We were just missing that single bed. So that was kind of a bummer. Oh, and as I'm doing this, wait. As I kind of ramble, you see the little like gnome that looks like a little wizard on the bookshelf that I put? I was thinking it was like Gandalf because Lord of the Rings. Do you know what I mean? I thought it was so cute. I tried to add like little tiny things in this build that maybe hinted to the fact that it's for hobbits. You know what I mean? Like I put a little like dragon wooden sculpture on top of one of the mantles of the fireplaces. There's tons of fireplaces, by the way. There's like 5 fireplaces in this build. And I also there's a swatch of this rug from Enchanted by Nature that has a dragon on it. So like Smog, you know, I thought that was nice. I thought it was cute. There is only one television in this build as well. I'll kind of put that out there now because there's 2 separate living spaces because let me just be frank, I didn't know what to do with this giant space downstairs. You'll see it when we get there, but I didn't know what to do with it. So I just made it like another sitting area because I genuinely think that hobbits like to, for the most part, sit around and just enjoy themselves, which I can relate to that. I really can. But I added a television up here because I was thinking that this was like the main living space since it is on this main floor with the kitchen and everything like that. But yeah, I thought it worked out really nicely. I'm also just adding some more clutter items here. And as you can see, I added a ton of those empty cross-stitch hoops as well. I know that you can update those or change those in-game, but I don't really know how. I don't know if you have to use like a cheat or if you can simply replace them with like your Sims projects if they complete those. I don't really know. I used to know when Cottage Living was out, I used to know, and now I don't remember anymore. But yeah, I added a couple of cross-stitch baskets around as well as like a knitting basket so they can do both of those activities. And I think downstairs there's also a Don't Wake the Llama table, again, because this giant space that I keep talking about that we're not even looking at yet, I just didn't know what to do with. But I also added this little apothecary like storage cabinet type thing in the corner there. I don't think it's functional. I don't remember though. It actually may have been. It may have been under some kind of functional category where maybe you can store things, literally. Like maybe it actually is functional as a storage item. I'm just not sure. I'm not 100%. And then here, this is like a little hallway that leads to the staircase that will bring you downstairs. Another fireplace and a little tiny seating area with these high back chairs from Cats and Dogs, which I used multiple times throughout this build, but I tried to use different swatches. I tried. There are a couple of swatches that I definitely utilized more than once, but it just is what it is because I wanted a ton of like high back squashy armchairs and or rocking chairs throughout this build because it just seemed very, very fitting. I also put this little rack of what it looks like quilts or blankets that we got in a base game update. Was that like that was months ago, right? Or was that a year ago? Time is an enigma right now. Look, with a new baby, I don't know what day it is half the time, let alone what time it is, time of the day. Like, the fact that I'm actually up before the sun to do this is not even shocking to me at this point, because I'm up all the time. Though I will say, my baby is an incredible sleeper, and I feel extremely lucky. I know that can absolutely change. Could change tonight for all I know, but they're absolutely an incredible sleeper. I'm not sleep deprived, which I am so grateful for. And my husband and I have a great routine that allows us both to get a fair amount of sleep, so really grateful for him too. But even with that, even though I'm not sleep deprived, don't know what time of day it is, and don't know what day it is ever, because my days are basically broken up by like feedings, diaper changes, and naps. Like that's how I kind of like assess how far we are in the day. I'm like, what nap are they on? Like how many times have I fed them? Like that kind of thing. So time is changing for me, which is wild. Anyway, I will stop rambling. We are down in the ground floor level, and this is actually going to be the first room we work on. It's a little office space, which I thought was nice to have. I don't really know, like I wasn't thinking of what kind of hobbits / Sims would be living here per se. I was just thinking of general hobbits. So there's an office space, but again, you could change that into a bedroom if you wanted to, or you can make it a little bit more specific to maybe a certain career. I did add the apothecary table in here because it's a new item with the expansion. I figured, why not? It's fitting. Of course, everything like the furniture matches, right? It's cool. I also added this little map wall decoration because again, I was thinking of like Bilbo's journey with Gandalf and the dwarves to go, oh my God, am I forgetting the plot of The Hobbit? I'm just going to stop myself before I embarrass myself saying I'm a fan of The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, and being like, yeah, they're going on their journey to do things and stuff. But I was thinking that it was like maybe like Bilbo's little framed map that he drew up from when he went on that initial adventure with Gandalf and everybody. So I thought that was just kind of, again, a nice little nod to the films and the story itself. But I did swap out the desk here, and I changed it to the one from Werewolves because that one was a little bit smaller. I wasn't really going to be able to fit everything I wanted to in here because a diagonal room that I never ever work with. Never work with diagonal rooms. I also used that rocking chair from Life and Death multiple times downstairs because I wanted to kind of change up what chairs I was using. But this is that giant living space I was talking about because I didn't really know what to do with it. I didn't know. So I added these bookcases from the Crystal Creations kit. I did keep the Don't Wake the Lava table, but I think I put it up against a wall kind of near that archway there. And I think it only has 3 chairs instead of 4. And then I add a record player in here. So again, it's just like this really big sitting room with another fireplace that your Sims can enjoy. And maybe they can sit down here and listen to music instead of if they want to go upstairs and like watch TV or something. So just a little bit of a different living space, but feel free to change up any of these rooms for whatever your Sims needs are. I just didn't really know what to do with it. So I kept it pretty simple and I tried not to overthink it. There also are a couple of houseplants in this build too. Now okay, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe that is a functionality that was extended to base game. I feel like that is exclusive to Enchanted by Nature. And if so, I think that's actually kind of a bummer. I can't lie to you. I feel like people have been talking about wanting live plants in the game, not like with the gardening skill, but like live houseplants and stuff for a long time. And we finally get them, but they're behind a paid DLC, which kind of stinks to me. It kind of stinks. I know it's like a really small feature and maybe that's not super important to a lot of people. I don't know. It's not super important to me for my gameplay and stuff, but I don't know. I feel like that could have just been added to base game instead of being in this expansion. I don't know why I'm even like focusing on it, to be honest, but I just feel like because a lot of people, like when The Sims 2 and The Sims 1 became available again on the EA app, I remember seeing a lot of conversation, maybe in just my corner of the internet, I don't know, about the fact that you had to really water plants in The Sims 2. And I don't even remember if they were really houseplants, to be fair, but I don't know. I'm rambling about it because it was on my mind, but I'm glad we have them, I guess. I don't know. I haven't done a lot of gameplay with Enchanted by Nature yet, so my knowledge is sparse. All I've done is watch other people do gameplay because I've been a little bit preoccupied lately, so I haven't really been able to dive into gameplay. And I'm not super into fairies, so that's not necessarily the gameplay I would explore. I would explore a lot of the other things. Like I am interested in the naturopath career, and like the ailments and the natural living skill and stuff like that. I think those things are really cool and I look forward to exploring them, but yeah, fairies aren't really for me personally. Also, we're working on a nursery. This is one of my favorite rooms in the house though, because all of these items, I hadn't explored these yet because the other build that I did was just a 1-bedroom home and I made it for like a single sim or a couple, but this is like more of a family home, right? And I hadn't seen a lot of the objects that would really work for a kid's room. Like this bookcase, it was a little bit awkward for this room. I do use it in the build though. I put it in this little like hallway area leading to the bathroom, but the crib is so cute and this wallpaper is beautiful. It really brought the room together. And what I end up doing is I add this little, I think it's probably considered somewhat of a canopy decoration from the Storybook Nursery kit, which is a kit I don't use very often. It's just, again, it's a little bit niche, but I put it over the center of the crib instead of over the end, which is where it typically would go. And then I kind of framed it with those wall lights from Enchanted by Nature. I thought it looked so whimsical and so freaking pretty. I was really stoked about that. I was so happy that it looked nice because I had the idea in my head. I'm like, this ain't gonna work. It totally did. And this wallpaper is beautiful. I used it in the entire room instead of just an accent wall, which was kind of my initial plan. It just looks so woodsy, and the term, of course, that I keep saying, whimsical and naturey and beautiful and also just very serene, in my opinion. I mean, it's very busy. It's a very busy room. Like the wallpaper itself, very busy for like a kid's room, in my opinion, but I think it is absolutely beautiful. What I was bummed out with again, I don't want to just turn this into like, I'm so bummed we didn't get this. Oh God, I'm just complaining. But it's complete sets. When we don't get complete sets of things in The Sims, my eye twitches just a little bit. So we got like a crib and a bassinet and a toddler bed. And we did get like wardrobes and things, but we didn't get any changing tables that would match the bassinet or the crib or the toddler bed. And that kind of bummed me out because I had to use this one from base game. It was the only one that I could find that had similar wood tones, and it doesn't match perfectly. The pink to me stands out like a sore thumb, and it's definitely not the same style of furniture. So I was really kind of bummed about that, but I tried to just skim over it because I would have gotten myself really frustrated. I just wish that we would get like complete sets of things. And yet at the same time, I'm like, I really appreciate that they tried to give us items for all these different rooms so we could furnish like a full house with these items. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like I'm complaining. I'm not trying to complain. I think it's a beautiful pack, even if it's not really my style. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, this is the bathroom. The bathroom I don't really care about. This is before I actually realized, I think, that we had a toilet. I don't remember if I actually take it out or not and kind of look at it at some point, but the shower is just like a single shower, like a single stall shower, and then we just got like a corner tub. So we didn't get a shower tub combo, which is what I wanted, so I ended up using this one from base game. And then I think maybe I did know that the toilet was in the catalog at that point, but it didn't really fit this build specifically, so I didn't use it, but the bathroom's pretty boring, so don't worry about it. And it's the last room that we work on, I believe. So I hope you'll enjoy this one. I cannot wait to hear your thoughts, and I will catch you next time I post a video, which will likely be pre-recorded, by the way, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.